The next process we're going to do is to use completing the square in order to solve for a quadratic. Now if you're given a problem like this, it equals 0, we want to solve for x, you can solve it one of three ways. You can factor it, if that's possible, and solve from there. You can always use the quadratic formula, or you can complete the square and solve using the square root method. All of them will work, and I think it's good to try factoring first, but if that doesn't work, you can always use the quadratic formula or this process. So just looking at this, it's not factorable, so I am going to do this process of completing the square and then getting the square root method. Now, I already have a coefficient of 1 in front of my x squared, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and complete the square. I'm going to write x squared plus 10x, leave my space. And I'm actually going to combine some of the steps that we've done in the past. I'm going to go ahead and take this 10 divided by 2 and then square it, and that's 25. Now I added 25 to the problem, so I need to offset that by subtracting 25. And as you get comfortable with the completing the square, if you want to do this on the same line, you're welcome to do so. Now, 10 divided by 2 is 5, and when I squared that, that's how I got 25. 5 is what I'm going to use in my binomial that's being squared. So, x plus 5 quantity squared, that would combine to be minus 28 equals 0. Now, this is completing the square like we've done before. The difference here is that rather than it equaling y, we're going to solve it. It equals 0. Now, in order to solve for x, I need to isolate this binomial that's being squared. That means moving the 28 over. Now, from here, I need to get rid of what's being squared. So I'm going to add a square root to both sides. Now, whenever you add a square root to a problem, you have to add a plus or minus. That's very important. So, on the left, x plus 5 quantity squared, when you take the square root of that, you just get x plus 5. This equals plus or minus the square root of 28. The plus or minus is very important. Now from here, I'm going to solve for x by moving over the 5. Whenever you move that 5 over, it's going to be to the left of that plus or minus symbol. So I moved over the 5, I got negative 5 plus or minus. I'm going to go ahead and simplify the square root of 28. That 28 is 4 times 7, so I can take out the square root of 4, which is 2. And my answer is negative 5 plus or minus 2 times the square root of 7. Now if I had done the quadratic formula on this, I would get this exact same answer.